Good afternoon. My name is Rich Nass, and I am the Executive Vice President / Brand Director for the Embedded Group at Open Systems Media. I'm here for the next installment of 5 Minutes With, and our subject today is Jay Alexander. He is the Chief Technology Officer at Keysight Technologies. Hello, Jay. How are you?
Hi, Rich. It's great to speak with you today.
Same here. Okay. So the only catch here is that we have to do this in 5 minutes, so I'm gonna roll right into the questions. Okay, you have been in test for a long time, basically your whole career. What has been the biggest change you've seen with respect to testing technologies over that time?
Well, I think there have been a number of changes, and this is my 29th year in the business. I think one that has been very much a mega change over the years has been the convergence of RF and high-speed digital. We used to think of digital design as being different and discrete from RF design, and what we see now is with digital speeds getting higher and higher, they really are getting into the realm where RF techniques have to be applied in the designs, and then on the RF side, a lot of the technologies that are getting applied inside devices like handsets and other network edge devices, there really is a need to be working in both domains simultaneously. And this is a big challenge for both designers and for providers of test solutions like Keysight.
So you're saying when that convergence takes place inside the box on the same board, that's where it becomes very difficult.
Yeah, on the same board, and sometimes now going forward even within the same IC or SoC.
Wow, I could definitely see where that could be a challenge. It's funny because when people talk about high-speed design, that number seems to be constantly changing. I remember we used to talk about high-speed design in the megahertz or even kilohertz, and now you are obviously in much higher domain.
Yes, it's well into the gigahertz range, and things behave quite differently there, as we know.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's now shift gears into what is probably the hottest buzzword in our industry, the Internet of Things. What role does the Internet of Things play with respect to test? And I'm referring to using IoT technology to aid in test rather than testing for IoT itself. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. I do think there's a number of IoT as DOT or as test devices that has to be addressed by the industry, and of course Keysight and others are working on that. But in terms of the delivery of test, I think there will be implications there as well. Michael Porter, who is a noted strategist at Harvard Business School, he calls the IoT, he has this term called smart connected objects, which is a little more descriptive way of getting at what's happening. I think today's test and measurement equipment is already a smart connected object in many cases. They have internet connectivity, they have remote ability, in some cases they have the ability to be disaggregated and then used in new combinations. But I think going forward, there will be even more opportunities to take advantage of some of the promise of IoT in test delivery. Exactly what those might look like, it's too early for me to say, but it's obviously an area that Keysight and others are looking at.
Okay, I think it's interesting that you add yet another name to the mix because I've heard IoT called so many different things, but it's funny, one of the first interviews we did, we were talking specifically about IoT, and the response was, we've been doing this for 15 years, we just never had the funny name for it. But anyway, okay.
There you go. Another word I've heard is M to M, or machine to machine, which puts another slant on it yet again.
Exactly. Okay, we're almost out of time, so let's just go with one more. From a professional standpoint, what's the one thing that really keeps you up at night?
Well, as you might imagine, being a test and measurement company, we need to stay ahead of where the bleeding edge technologies are so that we can help our customers, and we often speak of being 5x or 10x ahead. And when I look at what's happening with high-speed digital, with RF, with the preponderance of of smart connected objects and advanced handsets and other edge devices, we have a lot of technology investment to make and to keep on track in order to be there when our customers need us to be there. And as the CTO, this is my world, and this is what I lose sleep over, and I'm focused on 110% of the time.
Very good. Well, hopefully you're not losing too much sleep. And unfortunately, that is all we have time for. So I'd like to thank Jay. That was Jay Alexander, the Chief Technology Officer of Keysight Technologies. Thank you very much, Jay.
Thanks, Rich.